So Jack, we'll start from the beginning. How did you get involved in wheelchair rugby league?
I started wheelchair rugby league back when it first came to England with my brother who was disabled. We used to play basketball together, and he's obviously gone and done his own thing. He's playing for GB now and playing basketball, but I've stuck around with the rugby. I've got a bit more passion for the rugby than he did, but we got into that right at the beginning in the first test matches with France over there in 2005, and I've just stuck around since. They can't get rid of me.
And so you getting involved, was that to help support your brother?
At the beginning, yeah. We started playing basketball, so we were playing for a team that were quite high up and they were quite competitive. So Harry, when he can't reach the basketball rim, shooting and things like that, I'd push around in the chair with him, develop him in that way. He then got scouted, moved to Sheffield, got the GB and things like that. We did the tour, we did the World Cup in 08 together and just carry on progressing that way. And then after that, I just carry on helping more people after that.
There must be a massive sense of pride for you to go and help your brother go on to achieve what he has done with the Great Britain basketball team, but then it's equally you go and achieve what you have with the England wheelchair rugby team.
It is, it's great to have the opportunities for both me and my brother, and you hear a lot of stories like it in the sport. There's friendships, fathers, sons, brothers, sisters playing together and things like that. You're not going to get the opportunity to play for your country often with your family or your friends in that sense. It just makes it a lot easier to develop the sport and develop players.
And I guess your story kind of emphasises the inclusivity of wheelchair rugby league, isn't it? That there is non-disabled and disabled players playing in the same teams at the same time.
Yeah, it's a hard barrier to break down, to be fair, when talking about wheelchair rugby league, because a lot of able-bodied people can't get their heads around why an able-bodied person would be playing a wheelchair sport. But when the easiest way to do it is just to have a play and see how hard it is in the chair. For a lot of people, they don't realise, like, I've been playing since 2005 now. I've been in a wheelchair longer than most of the disabled players in the team. So like it's took a long time to get to the abilities that we're at, and same for the disabled players. They come in, they've probably got a little bit more experience in the chairs to start off with, and the ABs, yeah, they might have a more core, and they're able to use the legs to push and things like that, but the skills involved in wheelchair rugby league aren't down to just what your ability is. It really is a level playing field.
And obviously you started in 2005, so that's nearly 15 years involved in the sport. How have you seen the sport grow, and what do you think of where it is at the moment?
It's incredible. I never knew back then, when we were just going over there drinking with the French, and it was just a free holiday back then now, and to what it is now, working alongside the women's and the men's, all working together. It's incredible. The RFL helping out and what they've done for the sport, and the teams that are now playing, and the calibre of the players that are playing. I've seen some videos back from the start where the games has progressed to a point where it's unrecognisable from back then. It was much slower. The passing wasn't there. The play of the ball was so slow. Now it's just a completely different sport in the sense of there's just so much ability in it.
And you've come down to Australia. What have you made of Australia so far?
Oh, Australia's been brilliant. We started off in Townsville. They were absolutely welcoming, beautiful people looking after us. Same in Brisbane and here in Sydney. It's a lot of friendly people in Australia, and I know there's always that bit of rivalry in rugby league, but the amount of civilians that have come up to us and said good luck, not too much luck obviously, but it's just been so easy to be here. There hasn't been any stresses.
And obviously you've played at the international level for quite a while against the French, the Australians. What are you expecting from Australia in this test series?
I'm expecting them. They always improve every time we meet them. They've been building ever since we first played back in 08, and the strong side, they're going to come out really strong to begin with, hard hitting, a lot of aggressive tackles, sort of thing. So we're going to have to really keep his heads in them first 20 minutes, and then after that, when the game starts to open up, they're going to be looking for a lot of offloads to keep the ball alive a lot. So it's going to be a good challenge for the players to really knuckle down and not get drawn into the arm wrestle in the middle of the field, and try and hold out as positions and just get our chairs in front and keep these switches.
And you played France early in the season. You became the first team to ever beat France in France, I believe. And now you play in Australia. How good is it to get these opportunities ahead of the 2021 World Cup?
Yeah, we say everything's just another step building towards that 2021. So I think we're all looking forward with the bigger picture in mind. It is raising that cup in 2021. and I know it's the same for the men and the women. We're all focused on that goal, and playing France, is just that stepping stone. France was a massive win. They've never been beaten at home in France, so that was a big thing for this England team to be able to achieve against a strong France team. And over here again, it's even above the World Cup, it's about the sport, and a lot of players are backing that too. So we've got to look at developing this sport and moving it forward. And I think this tour over here is going to help the Australian domestic game massively. We've heard about a new team getting set up in Gold Coast, and obviously we played North Queensland. They've only been playing 4 weeks, so it's just a massive influx of competitors and players and teams that are going to be played. So for the future, it looks really bright for Australia and for England, France. It's just building the sport in general.
You talk about a great growth there. How good is it to see the RFL and the EPU back in the wheelchair team with tours like this or visiting France and really getting behind them ahead of 2021?
It is. We really get the backing in. It gives you a push and maybe a sense of not stress, but a sense of responsibility. So now when you put on the badge, I remember back in 2008 we were running around in GB tops before the RFL was affiliated. But now when you put the top on, there really is a sort of goosebump moment of, me personally, I'll just have a look at the top before I put it on every single game, and you just think you've got to pinch yourself a little bit. And with the backing from RFL, they're just giving us every tool and every bit of help to be able to raise that cup and build this sport.